Okay, this is a video for the quiz review for, I believe it's the third quiz, which is going to happen tomorrow on Halloween, October 31st. So let's look at the first question. It says find the value of A. These are vertical angles. Therefore, we can take each expression and set it equal to the other expression, and we're going to get A by itself. So let's bring the 3 over by subtraction, and let's bring the 12 over this way by subtraction, and you're going to get A equals 20. And then it says find the value of the marked angle. So we're going to do a quick check here. 40 times 20 plus 12, is that equal to 30 times 20 plus 32? Well, basically what you have here is 80 plus 12, sorry about that, is 92. And over here you have 60 plus 32, which is also 92. So it checks. So you can answer the first and the second. A equals 20 and 92 is the value of the marked angle. Okay, let's look at the second question on the quiz review. We have two similar rectangles, so we can say 11 is to 8 as x is to 3. So we're going to go the same direction with our proportion. And 11 is to 8 as x is to 3. We're going to cross multiply. We'll bow tie it. 33 equals 8x. And x is going to equal 33 divided by 8. And we're allowed to use a calculator on this one. And I believe it comes out to be 4.1 feet. And that might be an approximation. Okay, looking at the next question, we have two similar triangles. And let's do 17 is to x as 25 is to 18. Cross multiply. 17 times 18 equals 25 times x. I'll use a calculator on this quiz. So you can put this into your calculator. 17 times 18 equals 306 divided by 25, was it? Yeah. And we get 12.24, which rounds to approximately 12.2, and that's centimeters. Looking at question 4, again, similar triangles. It's drawn for you. So let's fill in the values. The tree casts a shadow 10 feet long. So the sun is over here shining down. Standing next to a tree, a boy casts 2.5 feet long shadow. The triangle shown from the tree is similar to the boy's triangle. The boy's 5 feet tall. So we're going to put a 5 here. And we want to find x. Similar triangles. So we can do x is to 10 as 5 is to 2.5. If we cross multiply, we get 2.5x equals 50 times, or 5 times 10, which is 50. Then we're going to divide by 2.5, and we get x equals 20. And if we come up here, that's going to be 20 feet. Okay. Next question, number 3. A map has a scale. So the map to the actual town or city is 1 centimeter to 20 kilometers. The two cities are 2.5 centimeters apart on the map. So you put that on top for the map, and we're trying to find what they are in real life, the distance in kilometers. So we're going to cross multiply. We don't have to divide here because we get x equals 20 minus 2.5. And we get 50 kilometers. 50? 50 kilometers. Okay, looking at the next question. The length of a rectangle is 5 centimeters less than twice the width. Draw a rectangle. The length is 5 centimeters less than twice the width. 2w minus 5. W is the width, and L equals length. We've defined our variables, and now we're going to set it up. We're talking about perimeter, so we need to add around the outside here, and that's going to equal the total perimeter of 26 centimeters. So that's a length plus a width plus the length plus the width. Now, what you need to do is combine like terms here. So there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 W's here. And then we add up -5, and -5 is minus 10. And then we're going to solve this, add 10 to both sides, or bring the 10 over by adding 10. That's 36 equals 6W. I'm going to divide by 6, and W equals 6. And if L equals 2W minus 5, we would do 2 times 6 minus 5, which would be 12 minus 5, which is 7 centimeters, is it? And of course, you'd have to check this and write it out in a complete sentence. So the width is 6 centimeters, so the length is 7 centimeters. Moving on to the next question, which is question 7, the sum of 2 consecutive integers. So we're going to say n is the first integer, then n plus 1 would be the second integer. Now, I showed you in class you can just add this up here. N plus n is 2n plus 1 would equal, well, they say it's 59. And then it's just a matter of solving this. We're going to bring the 1 over by subtraction. 2n equals 58. Divide by 2. And we get n equals 29. And then n plus 1 would equal 30. Now, does that check? It's 29 plus 30 equals 59. It checks. And then you have to write out your answer in a complete sentence in order to get full credit for 55 on this one. Moving on to the next question. Now we have the sum of 4 consecutive, but now it's odd integers, is -72. So n is still going to be our first, but to get to the next odd, we got to go n plus 2. That's the second. And then the third, and then the fourth will be n plus 4 and n plus 6. That's 4 integers, and we're going to add them up again. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 n's, and we have 10 plus 12, and that's got to equal -72. And we're going to add this, or solve this for n, so subtract 12 from both sides. We're going to get 4n equals -84. Divide by 4. Well, 4 goes into -84. Negative goes into 8 twice, and 4 once, so -21. So if we come up here, n is -21. N plus 2 is going to be -19. N plus 3 is going to be -17. I'm sorry, 17. And n, I'm sorry, it's n plus 4. And n plus 6 is going to be -15. Now, if I add all these up, it should add up to -71. Let's see. Or 72, sorry. So we got 10 and 12, 2, 2, and then 2, 4, 6, 72. -72, and it checks. You still have to write out your answer in a complete sentence to get full credit for the Finney 5. Looking at the next question. Now we're doing the dirt questions. Make a dirt table. Carlos and Maria drove a total of 258 miles. So the total distance. So the one distance plus the other is 258 miles in 5 hours. So let's see. We have Carlos. We have Maria. And we're going to use dirt. Okay, well, let's see. The total distance is 258. That's the total. Okay. The hours is 5 hours. Let's see. Let's make sure we get this right here. No, that's not true. We have to pick one of the people to be the time. So let's do Carlos is the time, and then Maria's time would be 5 minus Carlos's time. Carlos drove 53 miles per hour. That's his rate. And Maria drove 51 miles per hour. So we have to set it up this way. This is a little bit more difficult than what we've seen, but we have to do 258 is the one distance, the rate times time, 53t, plus the other distance would be 51 times 5 minus t. And now we need to solve this. Okay, so this is a little bit trickier. Just make my t's a little bit more noticeable. So 258 minus 53, or I'm sorry, equals 53t plus 5 times 51 would be 255 minus 51t. We're going to combine like terms on this side ahead of time. So I'm going to combine these two to get 2t, and then I'm going to subtract 255 from both sides. And so 258 minus 255 is 3. So t would equal, t equals 3 over 2, which is 1.5 hours. And if one person drove 1.5 hours, then 5 minus 1.5 hours would be the other person's driving time, which would be 3.5 hours. Well, if we look back, which hours was which? T was 1.5 hours, and 5 minus 1.5 is 3.5 hours for Maria. So the question says, find the approximate many hours that Maria drove, and that would be, we have to write that in a sentence. Okay. And she drove longer because she went at a slower rate. Okay. That's a bit of a tough one, but look that one over again and make sure you can set it up. All right, this one is a lot like the one we did in class. So on Saturday morning, 2 bicycles heading in opposite directions pass each other on a bicycle path. Heading north is riding, so one is, I should draw it this way. North is up, south is down. The north rider is 6 kilometers per hour faster than the other guy. 6 kilometers per hour faster than the other guy's rate. So the south driver is going to be, 6 kilometers faster would be, 6 plus R. So 6 plus R, and then down here is just R. So if I set up my dirt table, we have north and south bike. The rate of the north is 6 more than the other. Okay. At 10:15, they are 42.5 kilometers apart, and the time would be the same for both. Okay, so well, the time's the same. Well, what's the time from 10 or 9 to 10:15? That's an hour and 15 minutes, which is 1 and 1/4 of an hour, which is 1.25. So t would be 1.25. Okay, so how do we figure this out? Well, we got to dirt it. Okay, sorry for the messiness of this one. I might have to retape this, but we'll see. So we're going to multiply this times this, and this times this, and they both have to add up to be 42.5. So 42.5, that's the distance, the total distance, has to equal the distance of the north plus the distance of the south. So that would be 1.25 times 6 plus r plus 1.25 times r. Okay, so let's figure this out, what r is. Okay, we're going to distribute. So we're going to get 1.25 times. Okay, so if I distribute this here, I get 7.5 plus 1.25r. Then I'm going to combine the r's on the other side, and I'm going to get 2.5r. Now we're going to get r by itself by subtracting 750 or 7.50. And this is you can put a 0 there, so this is 0, 0. And 42 take away 7 is, why can't I think what 42 take away 7 is? 7 times 5 is 35. 35. So we get 35 equals 2.5r. Then we have to do that division. We're going to divide both sides by 2.5. And 35 divided by 2.5 is 14. So r equals 14. So we go back up to our table. R equals 14. So this would be 14, and 14 plus 6 would be 20. So the two rates would be 14 miles per hour for the southbound bike, yep, and 20 miles per hour for the northbound bike. That one is very messy, and I probably have to record this over again. Sorry about that. The last question is going to be a bonus question on the quiz. Tony rows a boat upstream. We're still going to use distance equals rate times time. Tony rows a boat upstream at 4.5 kilometers per hour. Then turns around and rows back at 5.5 kilometers per hour. Up, down, upstream and downstream. Starting from the starting point. If her total rowing time is 48 minutes, for how long does she row upstream? Express your answer in the nearest minute. Okay, so basically here we have dirt, rate times time, 4.5t, and rate times time, which would be 5.5 times 48. Which is 264 minus 5.5t. Now it says her total rolling is 48 minutes, and she goes up. She starts, goes upstream, and then comes back. So her distance is the same. So we're going to take these two and set them equal to each other. We're going to solve for t by adding 5.5 to both sides. We get 10t equals 264. Divide by 10. You get t equals 26.4. And that's minutes. So approximately 26 minutes. Okay, looking at the last group, find the percent change. So we're going to do 100 minus 103 over 100. And that looks like it is a 3%. It turns out to be 3%. And it's a increase, 3% increase. Number 13, the last one. We got 5200 minus 3140 divided by 5200, and that's going to be 40%, and it's a decrease. Okay, I hope that helps out. Please watch the video. I think I'm going to do the messy one over again, which would be this one here. So I'm going to make a dirt table. Distance equals rate times the time. We have two bicyclists pass each other. One's going north. One's going south. The bicycle heading north is riding 6 kilometers faster than the one heading south. So R plus 6 and R, 6 kilometers faster. At 10:15, they are 42 kilometers apart. Is the total kilometers they are apart. Okay, and the time would be from 10:15 or 9 to 10:15, which would be a total of 1 hour and 15 minutes, which would be 1.25 hours. Okay, and then we find a distance equals rate times time, and that's where we got 1.25 R plus, and what was that value again? 6 times 1.25, I can't think right now, 7.5. Okay, plus 7.5, and then this is 1.25 R. And together, 1.25 R, the distance of the southbound distance plus the northbound distance equals the total distance. And I'll let you look at the other part of the video to get the answer. I guess this is a little bit cleaner than the other one. So thank you, please study, and God bless you.